From the BiffNet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat. Written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack. Featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry Laminack. Live from the BiffNet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat. Written by...
Hey, cut that shit out. God damn it. What's up? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for being here. Today is Friday, October 22nd, 2021. This is episode number 355. Of course, the show is off to a technically rocky start. Let me explain what happened, folks. There's a really good, fun, exciting explanation as to why this show shit the bed within the first, 10, 15 minutes of it. First of all, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. I need to change my background there. I still got Sports Riot up. Let me mosey that on over there. What? There we go. Hi. Hello. Early start to the show. Did you forget Fridays are early? Huh? Did you forget? I didn't forget. I mean, I forgot when I stayed up. What's up, John Garza? I forgot until I stayed up at like 3:30 in the morning that I was like, oh shit, I got to get up and do a show early. Let me explain to you what happened. Okay, let's take a trip down memory lane. By the way, busy show today. We're going to do some NFL Week 7 preview, some MLB Game 6 Astros Red Sox preview. It's a fancy Friday. It's a $5 Friday. It's a long talk Friday. It's a whatever the fuck you want it to be Friday. It's a no cursing Friday. Okay, that's gone. It's also a trip down memory lane Friday. Joining me in hour number 2 of the show at noon until 1. Nick Sharara will be here. What? I know. The one and only Nick Sharara going to be in the building for hour number 2, hanging out, kicking it, talking, probably reminisce a little bit, talk about our futures and all that good fun stuff. So you don't want to miss that hour number 2. But let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about the tech issue. So yesterday we did our Sports Riot show. And we've been running. So this show I have moved over to. Let me see if FlexCam still works. Jesus. It's a whole mess. Let's see. Yeah, even FlexCam is offline. Boy, that's uh-oh. Did I just screw up the whole? Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, okay. So don't touch it, Barry. You're going to kick the whole stream off. So FlexCam is offline. However, so I've moved over to my streaming PC to do this show. And for the most part, it's gone great. It's gone really well. That PC has been, we had one issue with it, but other than that, it's been pretty rock solid for doing this show every day. I think that it looks good. It's, you got the 4K vibe. It's very nice. I used to do this show on this laptop here. And it was fine. It got me by until I could build this streaming PC. But we still have to do Sports Riot on the laptop, on the MacBook Pro. And it's a 2015, 2016, so it's 5 years old. Which in PC terms, for what we do here, what we stream, it's not the best, but it gets us by. Well, we've just been having issue after issue after issue, dropped packets and skipped music and garbled microphones and bad camera feeds, and it's just gotten too much. And we were just like, man, we've got to do something. We can't use this PC unless we upgrade the software. So right now, this software would allow one person to call in at a time. So I could have me and my guest, like Nick Sharara. But in order to do Sports Riot on the PC, I needed to be able to have at least two people, sometimes three people. Not just one, but I needed three people. Not just the one person, but the three. But in order to get that, it would cost an extra $350 to upgrade the software. So I've already paid $350 for the software. And so we were like, man, it's a big chunk. We got to bite the bullet. Are we going to do this? Last night, we'll call them. They've asked us to be discreet, and so I will. We'll just call them an angel investor. But last night, just out of nowhere, somebody goes, hey, man, love the show. Want to get you guys what you need to be able to do Sports Riot on the PC. What do you need? I was like, well, I just need to upgrade the software, but it's like $350. I've already paid $350. In order to get the version that we need, it's $700 for a year. And this angel was like, no problem. And just sent $350. Not going to cry. I didn't cry last night. I'm not going to cry now, but I'm going to tell you right now, man, the generosity and the kindness and a level of support that all of you, including this person, have shown us and given us. And like, there are moments when you want to just be like, fuck it. This is never going to take off and be what we want it to be. Fuck it. But then there were moments like last night after Sports Riot where Shock and I struggled with the tech problems through. And they were like, look, we can tell it gets you frustrated. And that's not a good show when you're frustrated. So let's alleviate that problem. This sounds really corny, but sometimes you wonder, what have I done to deserve this kind of support? It doesn't make sense to me. But all I can tell you, there's really no words that properly express the gratitude that the three of us have, myself, Shock, and John Wessling. And it's pretty amazing. And I don't think I would be able to do it justice, but that is going to allow me to now produce Sports Riot on the PC and not that laptop. I no longer am dependent on this laptop for anything, which is a big deal to be able to do that now. So I stayed up until damn near, like, it happened. I was working. So what I did is right after Sports Riot, whenever we went off air, I immediately just tore it all down and started to rebuild it piece by piece, just to see, okay, if I rebuild it, can I get some of these tech issues resolved or whatever? Like, I didn't know what to do. I was just like, I was at my wit's end. And then that happened probably an hour and a half into the rebuild. And then I was like, I don't have to rebuild this anymore. I immediately went out and bought the upgrade, put it on this PC, and started building a fresh vMix console for Sports Riot. It was fucking awesome. So you know who you are. And they were adamant about anonymity. And I shall respect that. Although you guys know me, I would love to shower them with the love and affection that they deserve. But they have requested anonymity, and I will honor that. But thank you. It's just those kinds of things, man, just literally move me to tears. And I appreciate you guys so much. So cheers to you, and cheers to all of you for being here and supporting, because look, it's a $5 Friday. I don't even remember how that got started. Keith Sager started that, but you guys have already sent Like Crystal early this morning sent a $5 Friday. Truck driver Pookie has sent a $5 Friday. Alex Villanueva sent a $10 $5 Friday on PayPal, along with Keith Sager, who sent a $5 Friday. Donna sent a $10 Friday. PP Dubs sent a $5 Friday. And then there's been some super chat $5 Fridays. Mimi sent one in. Alan Denson sent one in. You guys are just fucking amazing. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's an embarrassment of riches of support and love. And I don't know what I did to deserve it, but god dang it, I'm glad I did it, and I appreciate it more than you will all ever know. Ever, ever, ever. So, thank you. I love you. Cheers, my Hop Scholar coffee mug. Let's get this show started. Fidel said that's good news. Let's do a shot. Oh, motherfucker. All right, I'm going to do a shot just for the angel investor and for you, Fidel, because you brought it up. Let's do our 11:20 shot. Because nothing says responsible adult like shooting Jameson at 11:23 in the morning on a Friday, right? I mean, Todd, buddy, thank you for the $5 Friday. Unnecessary, but much appreciated, my dude. Thank you so much, man. You guys are the fucking best. All right. This goes out to that angel investor. You're a special person in the greatest sense possible. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you from the bottom of Shock's heart and John's heart. When I shared it with them, they were over the moon ecstatic about it. We're all very excited and pumped to be able to bring you a much better version of our show. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. I wouldn't be doing this without you. So cheers, everybody. Thank you. Okay. Let's go. Okay, I put my shot in that too, Barry. Okay, well, there you go. Somebody do a shot for me. Jen's like, I got you, fam. Jen's an early drinker on Fridays. I know. Okay, let's get this show started. Joining me at noon is Nick Sharara, so you're not going to want to miss that. Stick around for that. That's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Shelby! Thank you for the $10, $5 Friday, sweetie. You are the best. She said, what was the message? You are a treasure. Oh, you're the best, sweetie. Thank you. That's too kind. I don't deserve that, but you are super sweet. Thank you. She said you're a treasure and we love you, Barry. Well, I love you guys and I appreciate that. And that's very kind of you. All right. We have a lot to get to. It is week 7 of the NFL. I thought what we would do is take a gander back at what happened in the spreadsheet. Let's talk a little bit about these games upcoming, and we got to preview Astros baseball, Game 6 here in Houston at Minute Maid Park versus these pesky Red Sox. Get your thoughts on what you think is going to happen. I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. I don't know that we'll spend much time breaking down the Texans game because I feel like that's going to be a bloodbath, an absolute bloodbath. But we'll get into it. We'll look at all of that and more. It is a Friday, so we can talk lawns before Nick Sharara gets here if you want. What's up, Josh? If you have a lawn talk question, just put hashtag lawn talk in the chat. It's that simple. I'll start. Hashtag lawn talk. Is my grass dying? It's turning brown. Joe Bro said Cardinals by 50. So there's my lawn talk question. I have put it in the chat. Now you know if you have a lawn talk question, I'll answer it. You just got to do that. There you go. Oh, by the way, one of the side benefits of upgrading the software is that now I can do I can do transitions for the messages that pop up. It'll be pretty dope once I get around to doing it. So you're saying bet the cards. I'm saying don't touch that. Oh, yes. Donna, you right. Don't forget to send the link for the squirrel spikes. I'm going to do that right now. As soon as this show's over, Donna, I will fire it off. I'm going to put a sticky note. Shelby, I have your marriage certificate stamped and ready to go. I will drop it off on my way to the TV station today. So have no fear, sweetheart. I will get that done today. Promise. Put that over there. Okay. Jesus. Crazy times. Talk lawns while Nick is here. He will love that. Nope. No. She's watching that little son of a bitch getting her plants right now. I got you, Donna. I got you. All right. So let's get to a little NFL action. Let's talk a little week 7. See what we got going on. So, we got to do the greatest decade in the history of the world real fast. Who do you think it is? Shelby, thank you for the $5 Friday and the $10 Friday. You are the best. You are the sweetest. Shelby was first in the chat, first super chat, first like. Was there any doubt? Let's go. It was Shelby. So, yeah, she was like, thank you, Barry. Yeah, I almost forgot. Never forget. You guys have to step your game up. Shelby's running away with the Triple Crown. That's a fact. Shelby is absolutely running away with the Triple Crown. It's not even close. I'm here for it, though. Doesn't bother me a bit. Doesn't bother me a bit. If the whole point is get here early, then that's the reward. So thank you, Shelby. You're the best. Now let's talk some spreadsheets. Now let's talk some NFL Week 7. Lot of games on the schedule. Last week, a lot of favorites on the road. And let's see here. Zoom out. There we go. So this is what the spreadsheet looks like. If we take a gander at last week, the spreadsheet went 10-4. Do as Barry says, not as he does. What did I do? What happened? What did I say I would do but not does? What are you talking about? Drinking? I don't know what that means. What's up, Ben? All right. So this is, let me move this. Why is that doing that? There we go. Nope. What the hell's going on with the spreadsheet? Why does this not? I don't understand it. Just when you think you have it all figured out, they go and, well, you guys can see. All right. So this was last week, right? The spreadsheet was pretty close. The Laminator 5000 on some games. Lost a couple. Over-unders were bad last week. Over-unders were real bad. We went 6-8 on the over-unders. But we went 10-4 on the predictions. Just straight up who would win. Like saying that the Ravens 26 would beat the Chargers 22. So that was how, that's remember the spreadsheet. You got your score, predictive score right here. And you can see it's not entirely accurate, but that's kind of hard to predict. So, no, against the spread, Walt, we went 6-8. Against the spread, we went 6-8. 6-8 against the spread, 10-4 straight up, just predictive scores. So 6-8 against the spread because you had some anomalies there, right? I think because these were the favorites. So anytime you had a favorite and obviously the spread and this, that, and the other, for some reason, the blue that you see here is what the spreadsheet predicts who would cover. So the spreadsheet thought a lot of dogs would cover, and that did not happen. Not a lot of dogs covered, so I don't know why that was. The bold is home teams, so you can see that there was some home dogs as well. And then the blue is my pick. Sometimes I would go against the spreadsheet, sometimes I would not. So week 7, just straight up picking games, this is what it looks like. It already took the Broncos over the Browns. Failure. It's got the Packers, the Chiefs, the Falcons, the Patriots, the Panthers. I mean, it's basically straight up chalk, except for the Colts. It thinks the Colts are going to beat the Niners. But we just got news. That they're expecting Garoppolo back for the Niners. So how much does that change it? Well, that changes the offense pretty significantly. Right now, it's got it as a close game. I'm curious to see. So right now, the spreadsheet has it as a 1-point game. Vegas has it as a 4-point game in favor of the Niners. The spreadsheet says Colts by 1. Now, does that mean that that's going to be the case? Not necessarily, but what we can do, let's take a gander over here at the game and see if Vegas has adjusted the line at all. with the return of Garoppolo, and they have not. It's still a -4 game. And it's still a -4 game. What's up, Landon? Over-under pretty low in that game, too. But it looks like they expect Garoppolo, who is questionable. They do expect him to play. So pretty interesting there. But you can see this is a team that's scoring 23. Both teams scoring 23 a game. Colts giving up 21. Niners giving up 23. So if you're giving up what the other team is scoring, logic tells you, okay, well, the Colts are probably going to score close to 23, 24, 21, somewhere in there. And same thing here. If the Colts are giving up 21 and the Niners are scoring 23, this probably should be a pretty close game. 24-21-ish. The spreadsheet says 23-22 Colts. That's what we do. That's how we look at this statistically by the numbers. I think if I was just choosing on my own, I'm probably going Niners at home to win the game. But we go spreadsheet, it says 23-22 Colts. But that's basically a pick 'em at that point. Let's talk a little bit about the game last night, that Broncos-Browns game. We sidecasted it on Sports Right Live. If you missed it, you missed a lot of fun between Shock and myself. We had a good time. Oh, wait, it is hot in this room. I'm going to turn this fan on. Very surprised. Jen's got to be ecstatic and over the moon about what the Browns did. I was stunned. First of all, that's a really good Broncos defense over there. If you notice, this points allowed column kind of tells you what these defenses are doing, right? Not many defenses out there giving up less than 20 a game. The Broncos was one of them, allowing 18 a game. Bengals was another one. You had the Cardinals and the Saints were the four best defenses as far as points allowed right now. So the fact that the Broncos shit the bed like that, kind of surprising. Now, offensively, they haven't been great, only averaging 21. But the Browns giving up 25, scoring 26. Because of that, on the strength of that Broncos defense, you had to feel like the Broncos had a really good chance. No Baker Mayfield, Case Keenum in as a backup. No Kareem Hunt. No Nick Chubb. D'Ernest Johnson. Who? What the hell is a D'Ernest Johnson? Running the football like a madman. Like a crazy person. Yeah, Todd. D'Ernest looked amazing last night. Give credit to that Browns O-line. What the hell was happening with that Broncos defense? This is one of the best defenses in football, according to the numbers. They laid a huge egg last night. Didn't help Von Miller going out with a knee injury late, but Keenum out there playing his ass off. Just an all-around dominant performance by the Cleveland Browns. Walt said Broncos' 3 wins were against scrubs, so it made their defense look better than they were. Still the NFL, but okay. Oh, man. What the hell? Pretty surprising, though, how well the Browns played. If I told you Browns, no Chubb, no Hunt, no Baker Mayfield, regardless of what the spreadsheet says, you're probably like, oh, and Teddy's playing for the Broncos? Yeah, I think I'll lean Broncos. And that's what this was. The spreadsheet thought this would be a close game. Broncos lean. No, my friend. And this is why, look, you and I can sit here and predict all we want. Going 52% in your predictions against the spread is pretty good. So it's not like any of us know really what's going to happen in these outcomes. All you got to do is look back at last week. There's some stuff that you go, really? You look at some of the actual scores. Really, the Chargers putting up 6 points. Not one of you in this chat should be telling me you thought the Chargers were going to score 6 points against the Ravens. You might have told me you thought the Ravens would win. That's fine, because even on the spreadsheet, it was a 26-22 game. I just believed in the Chargers that much. And they absolutely shit the bed. 34-6? Come on, fam. Vegas had it as a 3-point game. So numbers are numbers, but this is unpredictable. But it's fun to talk about, and it makes for good banter back and forth. So the spreadsheet this week looks as such. We know, what was the final score last night? Let's go scores. 17-14 Browns. So we'll plug that in. 17. By the way, very boring game. Ugh, it was a struggle bus. I don't know what any of that means, White Magic. So I guess the answer would be no. I don't know who Brian Laundrie is. I don't know. I don't do true crimes. I don't give a shit. That'd be a Nora thing. So I have no idea. You gotta ask me sooner than 38 minutes into the show to prep for a show topic. You can't just assume I know everything about everything. I don't listen. I don't have time to listen to podcasts. Are you crazy? All right, so let's run through this. I have for you here what I'm going to do. I'm gonna hide these columns so that we can see what the Laminator 5000 is saying here. Hide that. Because what we really want is over-unders and the spread. So here we go. So now we're looking at this. I don't know why that's off the screen, by the way. I really don't know. See, that doesn't help. It just doesn't make any sense to me, folks. There we go. That's why. Okay. So this is what it says. You need look no further because all of the info is here, so we don't even need to go to ESPN. And you can't see it, but spread in this Packers-Redskins game, that's old. That's my bad. Football team game is 8.5. Spreadsheet says 27-22, that it might be a little closer. Take the pack, give the points. That's the point here. Titans-Chiefs, this might be a really good football game. The spread in Titans-Chiefs is 5.5. And after watching, is that the dude that was found in the field? Like, I don't think Barry watches the news. You should check your port 435. Nope, it's not 435. That's not the port thing. It's like the Doppler 2000, but for football. Yeah, kind of a little bit. Okay, I know what this story is. We'll talk about, what's up, Richard Vales? Long time no see. We'll talk about that story in a second. I have thoughts, not many, but let's just power through this here. So, take the pack, give the points. This Chiefs-Titans game is close. I went Chiefs just because they're the Chiefs, but I tell you what, I might be convinced to change my mind. I certainly took Titans in the points. Derrick Henry is a real one. The Titans defense is looking better. That Chiefs defense is terrible. I'm not sure that they could stop anybody, much less the best running back in football right now. So the Laminator 5000 says basically a pick 'em. Vegas says it's a 5.5 point spread favoring the Chiefs. I kind of like that. I'd take Titans in the points here. Dolphins Falcons in the who gives a shit bowl. If you care, spreadsheet says Falcons by 2. Vegas says 2.5. So the spreadsheet's pretty accurate on this one, at least according to Vegas. Dolphins are favored. I think the Dolphins cover. But that may not be the case. Dolphins are a mess right now. Patriots favored by 7 according to Vegas. The spreadsheet has them favored by 5.5. So that would tell you to take the Jets and the points. But I'm not taking the Jets and the points at anything. I'll take the Patriots in that one and the points. Carolina versus the Giants. The Laminator 5000 says it's a blowout, 7-point spread. Vegas says it's a 3-point game. I think the Panthers are much better than the Giants. So I'm taking the Panthers and giving up the 3 points. The 3 points. Giants are at home. Panthers are favored by 3. So I like those odds. White Magic said, okay, so put my 401k on Titans and the points. No, don't. Listen, the track record of this spreadsheet is at best, okay? I like the Bengals and the 6.5 points versus the Ravens. That looks like it could be a close game. Ravens are so dominant right now. It wouldn't surprise me if they won by 2 touchdowns, to be honest with you. Especially the way that they beat up on the Chargers, who were looking amazing at this point. So Ravens favored by 6.5 according to Vegas. The spreadsheet says it's going to be a close game. Spreadsheet says it's about a point differential, basically a pick 'em. I like the Ravens at home to win, but I think you might take the Bengals and the points there. 6.5. Okay. Raiders, Eagles. The Laminator 5000 says it's a 1-point game, essentially 1.5. Vegas says it's a 3-point game for the Raiders at home, getting the customary 3. Joe Pro's only got Joe Pro doesn't have a 401k. He has a 3.99k. Well done, Joe Pro. Raiders, Eagles. The spread is 3. If you're getting 3 at home, I'd probably take the Eagles and the points. Raiders look like they've bounced back now after the whole Gruden debacle. For a couple of weeks there, Derek Carr looked like that this whole issue was bothering him, but maybe he's over it. Well, I guess we'll find out. I'd probably stay away from that game if I was betting. Boy, Rams, Lions, look at that spread, 15. The only worst one in football is the Texans-Cardinals spread. Rams favored by 15 over the Lions. At that point, you got to take 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. The Lions have actually been in some of these games. I know they're only scoring about 20 a game. The Rams are putting up 30. But that's a 10-point difference right there. If Vegas is giving you 15, I mean, at this point, throw down $5, take the Lions and the 15 points. You might make some decent scratch there. Cardinals, Texans. Cardinals favored by 17.5 according to Vegas. According to the Laminator 5000, it's only a 2-touchdown game. So it says to take the Texans and the points. I wouldn't bet this game. I feel like the Cardinals are probably going to curb stomp the Texans by 3 touchdowns. I mean, look how bad these Texans are losing when they lose. Boy, when they shit the bed, they shit the bed, don't they? They're like, oh, you want us to go out and lose? Why don't we go out and lose 40-0? 30-3 or whatever the hell the last week's score was. I'd stay away from that game. Bucks, Bears. I mean, there's really not a game on. If there was a game on here where you might lean one way or the other, it's these close ones, right? It's these Falcons, Dolphins, although don't bet that mess. What you're looking for here, by the way, is you want to look at this difference right here, which is the spread, right? So in this case, it's telling you that the favorite is favored, according to the spreadsheet, by 2.5 or 2.2, and Vegas is saying 2.3. So that one's pretty close. The closer this number is to 0, the further away you want to be from betting that game, because what this is saying is that whatever the spreadsheet is telling you is essentially what the same as Vegas is saying, so it's difficult to figure out. It's when you start to get far away from those numbers. Like Vegas says this is a 15-point game. The spreadsheet says it's probably a 10-point game. So you might be like, oh, you know what? I'll lay a few digits on the Lions here. Spreadsheet, statistically, they should only lose by 10. Vegas is saying 15. So the further you get away, either way, in this variable, in this variation column here. So you want to look for these numbers. So what this is saying is basically maybe take these huge underdogs and the points. Although I probably wouldn't bet either of those, but that's what you're looking for. I mean, a decent one here might be Bengals, Ravens. This might be actually a game you'd put a little scratch on the Bengals on. What's up, Michael? Raiders, Eagles. Yeah. Raiders, Eagles. 3-point spread. I probably wouldn't do much there. So there you go. The one that you might consider is this next one here that we hadn't talked about yet. Bucks, Bears. Although the Bears might just be in awful shape, but the spreadsheet says it's a 6-point game. Vegas is saying 12.5. In this particular case, just based on the eye test, I'm probably thinking Vegas is right on this one and ignoring the spreadsheet. Hence my pick to take the Bucks. The spreadsheet says take the Bears and the points, but that's probably a fool's errand. What's up, Kyle King? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you here, famo. Thanks for being here. Nando, what's up, dude? Michael, thanks for being here. Braves Astros World Series is going to be boring. We're about to get to that as soon as I wrap up this spreadsheet talk here. What's up, Sean? Bears will not cover. Yeah, I don't think so either. That's why you got to take these spreadsheets and the statistical analysis with a grain of salt, because you can see some of this. You have to use your head. And that's the thing. Some people go, hey, I'm just going to go spreadsheet, or I'm just going to go eye test. Use both. Use everything at your disposal. Watch the games, listen to Vegas, listen to statistical analysis, which is all this spreadsheet is 100% statistical analysis. It doesn't take injuries into account. It doesn't take any of that into account. But it's a good basis for, okay, let's see what these teams are doing statistically, and then let's figure out what we think is going to happen. And that's when Total Dallas is saying, yeah, rookie QB on the road, that defense, probably stay away from that game, even though it says 6.5, just like you would stay away from those Lions and Texans games. Unless you're just like, all right, give me the Texans, give me the 17.5 points. But if you don't think that JJ Watt and D Hop and the rest of that Cardinals team isn't going to be up to win and stomp the absolute ever living shit out of the Houston Texans because of everything that's happened, you are out of your mind. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals won by 3 touchdowns. You kidding me? All right, last 2 games on the docket, Colts, Niners. Kyle says, don't be a bitch. Go with your gut. No, fam. You got to go half gut, half brain. You got to connect. You got to make a connection there. Half gut, half brain. Colts over in the Niners, according to the spreadsheet. Vegas says 4. The spreadsheet says it's the 1-point win for the Indianapolis Colts, are playing a lot better. Here's where we were just talking about. Now the Colts are getting back Jimmy Garoppolo. Does the spreadsheet take that into account? No, it just looks at past performance statistically. So because it's so close, because it's a 1-point difference, Garoppolo, is he worth a point for the San Francisco 49ers? Yeah, probably. Is he worth a win? I don't know, but he's definitely worth a point. So I might lean Niners. And this is the other thing. Niners are at home. We know that's worth 3 points. We know that there's an advantage in the NFL for playing at home. So when it's this close, when it's a pick 'em, normally you should go, well, you know what? Give me the Niners. I went Colts. Colts playing pretty well right now. But it wouldn't be the dumbest thing in the world to go, you know what? I'll just take the Niners at home, getting Garoppolo back. Let's see what happens. Vegas thinks they win by 4. That's the other thing. If you see something like this, 23-22, Garoppolo's back, though, what does that mean? Just see what Vegas thinks. Vegas thinks Niners win. Okay. I mean, obviously, you have to bet against the spread if you're betting. If you still think it's going to be close, maybe Garoppolo's only worth a win or 2, then you take the Colts and the points. But just picks, like if you're an eliminator or whatever, maybe change to Niners in this, but the spreadsheet says it's close. All right, last one, Saints Seahawks. 25-20 is the predicted score. 5-point spread there, according to the spreadsheet. Vegas seems to agree. This is one of the few instances where Vegas agrees. You can see that 0.65. The closer we get to 0 means the closer the spreadsheet is in agreement with Vegas. So we're way off here. We're pretty close there, off there, pretty close on these couple of games. It happens sometimes. Seahawks, Saints, boy, I'll tell you what, as well as that Saints defense has been playing, I'd take the Saints. I'd give up the 5. No Russell Wilson. All that. And I know it's at home in the 12th minute. Save that. This ain't that same Seahawks team, baby. I'll take the Saints. I'll give the 5. I think the Saints win straight up. They probably cover that 5 too. And they do it off the strength of that defense. That defense is playing out of their damn mind. So there you go. There's a look at statistically point spreads and some thoughts on the week 7 matchups. The blue picks, as you see down here. Blue are my picks. I probably should change my Niners pick, but it's too late. Bold is home. And the blue, the shaded blue, the light blue. So the dark blue is my pick. And then the background blue is what the spreadsheet said you should take as far as versus the point spread in Vegas. Who the spreadsheet thinks will cover. Like I said, last week, just straight up picks, we went 10-4. Against the spread, we went 6-8. And over-unders went 6-8. So not great. Maybe we need to do some tweaking. But look, the numbers are the numbers. You don't change unless you're trying to, I just take a very simple approach to this, and it gives you a good idea. What's crazy is how close the over-unders will be predictively, but then be off because you got to make a decision, right? So here's an example. Like this estimated over-under is what the spreadsheet says it would be. This is what Vegas says. Like Vegas thought it was going to be a 41-point over-under game. Week 7. And that Browns-Broncos game. They scored 31 points. So it wasn't even close. But the spreadsheet thought they would score 45, so it took the over. Fail. So we lost that one. But hell, Vegas lost that. They weren't even close to the over-under. So, like, in this case, Vegas is saying 49. The spreadsheet says 50. It's amazing how close this gets. Vegas says 57.5. Spreadsheet says 57.3. 47-48. So you also look for some anomalies over here in the over-unders to think, well, what am I missing, right? 43-46. Same thing. If the closer these numbers are to 0, the closer the over-under is to what Vegas is saying. So you're looking for a number above or below to kind of give you an idea of what you might need to pick. Here, this is Carolina and New York. They're saying that Vegas is saying 43. Spreadsheet says 46. Take the over there. I don't know about that. That's an ugly game. I'd probably take the under because the eye test tells me that's probably an ugly game. But not a lot of anomalies when it comes to that. Last week, you can see same thing. I mean, not a lot jumped off the page there. It's usually pretty close. It makes you feel like this is how Vegas figures out those over-unders. What'd they score? What'd they give up? It's predictive what they do. All right, so let's talk a little. Zoom out. Let's talk a little MLB playoffs. Nick Sharara going to join me at noon-ish. I'm going to bounce out for a break pretty quick. Let's talk a little Astros baseball. Have they announced, last we saw, Luis Garcia, Nathan Eovaldi. I got to tell you, I don't have a great feeling about Game 6. And I hope I'm wrong. We saw it in the Dodgers series with the Braves. It was like, this is over. Down 3-1. Dodgers come back and do something they've never done in the playoffs with the amount of home runs they hit. Yes, my points scored and points allowed numbers are based off of, it's an average of what they've done this year alone. So it takes into account offensively and defensively just this year. Amos said, all right, nerds, let's move on to baseball. Okay, you shut your whore mouth, Amos. So you got an ace going against a rookie in a Game 6 in the ALCS. Something to take into account. Astros have all the mojo. Astros feeling good. Go on the road. Get 2 in Boston after splitting here at Minute Maid. This isn't a case of where the Red Sox are like, well, we're done. We're lost. I know you want it to feel that way, but that's just not the case. What's up, Rudolph? I know you want it to feel that way. That's just not how baseball works. I'm going to tell you, I would lean Red Sox in this game. Couple reasons. I know Luis Garcia is at home. Great. How'd that work out last time? This is the same pitching matchup for Game 2, was it not? How'd that go? Let's go back. Game 2. Luis Garcia goes 1 inning, 2 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Oh, he had a sore knee. That's why he left. No, he had a sore butthole from getting it torn apart by Red Sox hitting. 5 earned runs in an inning? That's not a sore knee, folks. That's a cop-out. Eovaldi, on the other hand, goes 5 1/3, gives up 3 earned runs, a walk, and 3 Ks. Now, you look at that and go, ace, rookie. Although the rookie acquitted himself well during the year, the pressure of the playoffs can be a lot to handle, even at home. The same thing happened with Framber Valdez, though. So there is the case to be made for that. Framber shit the bed early, comes back, dominant on the road now. Now what? Donald's like, la, 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 not listening. I know you want me to tell you what you want to hear. Would I be surprised if the Astros won? Absolutely not. Obviously, they're capable. They're at home. All they have to do is win one of two. The Red Sox have to sweep on the road. Good luck. Except for the fact that they're throwing their ace. There's been some time between that last loss and now. This is what comes down to a must win. All the pressure is on the Red Sox, right? Until they win today. And then it's, ooh, shit. This is it. And I'm going to tell you right now, if this goes to Game 7, pucker factor 5,000, folks. At least you're at home. At least you're at home. But man, you do not want to see this go to Game 7. Now, Framber Valdez did this whole team a great service by going 8 innings last night. You got a fresh bullpen. You're good to go. Yeah, Javier. Graveman, we know now, can give you 2 innings. Presley could probably get you 4 to 6 outs if you absolutely had to do that. If this is a 3-2 game in the 5th, I can see Graveman going 2 and Presley going 2. Just get us to the World Series, boys. And they won't do that, but they absolutely could. Stanek can go out and give you an inning. He's acquitted himself well. Bullpen has actually pitched pretty well. What was a glaring weakness? I mean, the starters have been the problem for this Astros team in this series. And the fact that the bats went cold for the Red Sox. Now, did that coincide with Brent Strom saying the Astros tipped their pitches? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But if I'm predicting, Nando said that Chris Sale is the new Kershaw. Boy, that may not be too far off, especially if you're getting wore out by a lefty. And I get it. Everyone's comparing Yordan to David Ortiz, which I think is not fair to Yordan or David Ortiz at this point. I know we like to do that stuff, but yeah, Chris Sale shit the bed pretty bad. Also, just hasn't been the same since the injury. But I hate to tell you, if I had to pick right now, just got a feeling it's the Red Sox behind the strength of their ace. Probably a close game. 4-2, 4-3, something like that. Although it's going to take a lot of runs to beat the Astros, because even when they play bad, they're going to put up 4 or 5 runs. So you better be ready to score. All right, so we're going to take a quick break here. I'm just going to go pee. We've got Nick Sharara on the line. He's joining. Nick is ready to go. I'm going to go hit the head real quick. We're going to sit on the corner and do some dope while I go pee. Sorry, Nick, I'm a little behind. When we come back, though, we're going to be joined by none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Nick Sharara. Going to hang out with us for an entire hour, shooting the shit. We'll talk anything and everything. So stick around. I got to find Stick around. Don't go anywhere. This is Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. I'll see you in a second, hoes.
I got your bitch sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. They are to be ashamed. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same to go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same old nasty ass people from last week. Wanna do it dope. Wanna do it dope. Go ahead. Wanna do it dope. Wanna do it dope. Goddamn corner do it dope. Wanna do it dope. Wanna do it dope. Goddamn right. Bend down the goddamn corner do it dope. Bend down the goddamn corner do it dope. Bend down the goddamn corner do it dope. Corner do it dope. Dope. Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Wanna do it dope. Wanna do it dope. Go ahead. Wanna do it dope. 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 Wanna do it dope.
I'm gonna mute this whole fucking time. I'm a dumbass. See, this is why I need a producer. I know you can't hear me. Shut the fuck up. Oh, God, Nick. This is such a goddamn struggle. All right. Well, I had a great intro planned for you, and then I just... Wait, you're on mute now. Wait, why can't I hear you, Nick? What the fuck? I can't hear you, buddy. What is happening right now? Are you muted? Oh, motherfucker. See, this is what happens. I had a great intro. I was firing it off.
No, that's me. That's me. That's
thank
me.
God! Woo! See, that is a professional right there, and he fucked it up just like I did.
I had my volume down. What's up, man? We're all fucking shit up.
We look like a couple of fucking bumbling idiots right now. 7 years in radio, fucking decade in radio, and neither one of us could figure out how to work a fucking microphone. Bunch of
fucking bad. Picked up right where I left off. Still shitty at my job, you know.
Welcome to the program, homie. Long time no talk, man. Yeah, I mean, you guys probably think this was all. No, this is all on a whim. Nick joined the show late yesterday in the third hour, so let's do it. We haven't talked since then. I texted him. I woke up at 10:15. I was like, oh, fuck. You want to do the show? He's like, yeah, cool. That was it. Yeah. So here we are, dude.
I mean, I got nothing but time, dude. I mean. So I ain't worried about it. I wasn't worried about the time schedule, so it's all good, man.
What have you been up to, homie? What to give me the latest? What's going on in the Sharara world?
I mean, just a bunch of independent contract stuff. You know, I write for like a gambling website. I produce podcasts independently. It's kind of weird because, you know, obviously I don't have everything streamlined. You know what I mean? You gotta be more organized about your time and pay attention to more details. So it's kind of a good and a bad thing. I'm busy, but it's just, you know, not everything is streamlined for me. So it's obviously a transitional period. You know what I mean? So
hell yeah.
I'm getting used to it, you know?
Bro, trust me. When I tell you, I understand. Well, it's amazing when, I mean, the two of us can speak the same language here. I ain't got no fucking job. But I'm busier than I ever was. Also, I make about a third.
Yeah.
It's like I do more work. I'm busier. I make less money. Like, what is happening?
Which makes me wonder, is like, should I go independent or should I just work for a company? But I kind of have a problem with authority, and it's like
No,
I don't really want to work for you sons of bitches. You know what I mean?
I don't blame you. Like, you want to be your own boss, set your own hours, do your own thing. Fuck everybody else. This is how I'm doing it, man. I tell you
Nick,
what.
Would you do this for me? No, I don't want to do that for you.
No,
you know
I want to do what I want to do. I
exactly.
feel that, dude. I feel that in my bones. Are you so the independent producer thing, is this something you're looking to like establish an actual company, or are you just kind of freelancing?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things I've been trying. I mean, the podcast thing, I didn't think that newspapers and stuff were reaching out for people to produce podcasts. So they would send me audio. I did a little bit of work for the New York Post.
Whoa.
It was very temporary. I write for a gambling website called betus.com. I don't know if people are familiar. It's weird because that's the first time I ever placed an online bet was that with that website.
Really?
And shout out to Spencer Kite because he's the one who got me that gig. But yeah, I mean, dude, it's it's cool. It's just deadlines and like I said, you can relate to this more than anybody else, dude. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you liking the gambling aspect of it? Now is it UFC? Is it MMA? Is it football, baseball, basketball? Is it everything? Golf?
They were
golf gambling, aren't you? A lot of
no. It was NFL and MMA. Now it's just MMA. So I'm okay with just doing MMA. I was doing a little bit of the NFL for a while, and then I just stuck to MMA now.
Well, that's your passion too, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, that's where I kind of want to be anyway. I'd rather do that than sports and radio, to be honest with you. I'd rather do MMA and boxing than going back to – I'm kind of conflicted about the radio thing because you can't really be picky about the radio thing, right? Because it's already hard enough to get a radio gig enough as it is. But I'm picky about the radio game, man. I don't want any job. I'm very concerned about the type of boss I'm going to work for, and I don't want to work for a shitty boss. It's just that simple. I refuse to work for a shitty boss. I will not do it.
Well, and I don't blame you. And part of the thing is especially because how long were you at Gal Media as a whole?
10 years.
10 years. You were there a decade. I was there 7. Often, I mean, obviously doing just weekends and stuff, but you were there almost full time for a decade, right? Because you started full time.
I started I was an intern, then I went to part-time, then I went to full-time on all the various platforms that they have over there. So, I mean, I was
to say, that's the thing, though, that I don't think a lot of people understand is when you're getting in the business, you can't be selective. You can't you take whatever is given to you and you're excited about it and you're thankful for it. Yeah. When you're a decade in like you, and you're a grizzled vet and you know the business and you know the game of the business, you're like, I'm just not taking the first fucking thing that comes along.
No, I'm not. I refuse. I mean, I do enough as it is right now to keep me going, and I'll just stick to that. I'm not going to sit there and work. There's just too many, I hate to harp on it. There's just too many shitty bosses out there. Yeah. And I don't like shitty bosses, and I refuse to work for them. So
I feel that 100%, dude. There's nothing like being your own boss. I mean, I don't. The stability and all that aside, dude, I love doing this. I wake up when I want to wake up. I do a show that I want to do. No one tells me what I can and can't say. No one tells me what I can and can't do. Yeah. It's just, it's it's touch and go financially, but the freedom of it, it's amazing. White Magic wants to know, do you roll? You're talking MMA, covering the UFC. I don't know. Are you doing any Bellator or anything like that? But do you do any jiu-jitsu? You do any you used to?
I haven't done jiu-jitsu in 8 years, man. I did it. Shout out to Chad Kite and Sugarland MMA at the time. They're the ones that welcomed me first. And no, I don't. I just, I have to, stress causes, health issues. And without health, man, it doesn't even matter if you have money. So I'm really just trying to kind of pay attention to my health. And, I don't drink as much. I don't really drink. I don't drink at all.
Really?
Smoke. Yeah, I've been trying to keep a clear mind until I get through everything. And once I do that, then, I might go back to drinking and having the good old time. But right now, I just want to focus on my health and my family. But, I tune in a lot more to the show. I just don't chime in all the time. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Dude, there was a point. I think you and I talked, actually. There was a point where I had to stop drinking. Because I had,
you told me. Yeah,
I was drinking. I mean, I was like, this bottle of Jameson has lasted me a hell of a lot longer than the previous bottle of Jameson, and that's a big ass bottle of Jameson.
I was about to say that's not a 750.
Dude, when the deckheads buy you liquor, they buy you handles. They don't fuck around. I had 2. This is the second handle from show, I think episode 300. We're at 350, so this is the second one. I've already been through a bottle of Crown Black since then, and I'm halfway through the other bottle. But I admit that I recognized pretty early what alcohol was doing to me. And you
Oh,
don't
sad.
realize it because you're like, this is great. But then I was like moody. I was depressed. I was mean. I was tired. I was all these things that's not normally my nature. And I was like, I got to take a step back. I mean, it was doom and gloom. I was just like, man. And I stopped drinking for an entire month and it changed everything. I was just like, holy shit. You have no idea how much it fucks with you.
And it's crazy because I didn't really start drinking heavy until my 30s. And so it's like, you almost forget what it was like to just go months at a time without drinking. And that's where it becomes dangerous sometimes. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, I remember when I was smoking, I didn't want to quit smoking because I was like, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss smoking.
Yeah.
And that's how drinking can be. You're like, I'm going to miss that feeling that it was the all that. And then once you're out of it, you're like, I don't miss that shit. I can actually get by without it. It's fine.
No, that's good, man. That's good. I'm so glad you're doing your thing, dude. Like, I love the fact that the studio looks so fucking bad. By the way, am I not supposed to cuss? Because I tuned in and you said something about maybe potentially steering away from being explicit.
No, that's me. I'm trying to clean up the act because I'm thinking about moving this show to Twitch and being on Twitch Sports. Because the other show that I do, the Sports Riot Live show with John Wesley and Mike Liebershine, we're over there on Twitch and they have a Twitch Sports thing and we try to be clean, and I'm trying to clean it up for people at the office and stuff. It doesn't always work. So no, you can curse. I've been cursing.
I've been thinking about doing the same thing.
It's a fool's errand, Nick. You know that if you're not on the radio with the FCC bearing down on you, if you can say fuck, you say fuck.
Yeah. No doubt. I mean, you know how many F-bombs we left over the air. Is the FCC even paying attention, to be honest with you? Because I know I let a lot of F-bombs slip over the air, you know what I mean?
Dude, some of the shit we got away with doing that show, I was like, wow.
That was fun, though.
One of my favorite moments, though, was you and Dale, not on the Suspects, but you and Dale doing the 2 segments of eating ass live on air.
I got in trouble for that. Yeah. Because Dell was denying the fact that he wouldn't eat Tom Brady's wife's ass, which he's absolutely lying. It's clear that he's lying.
Dell will eat anything. So, 100% he's eating her ass. Oh, my God. That was just so. And then it just carried over. And then Jong, being the trooper that he was, went to bat for us and tried to fend off the evil warlords. And I think people called the station, were like, these fellas are talking about eating buttholes like they're donuts. This is not okay.
It was I felt like it was a relevant topic at the time.
Was that the worst thing you ever talked about on air? Was that like the most disgusting thing you ever did? Or the
I don't think so. I was kind of surprised I was getting in trouble, man. I was really? Yeah, no. I guess that is it is pretty disgusting talking about eating ass. It's kind of a bad thing, but I'm trying to be more professional myself. Yeah. See, I already find myself in a comfortable mood with you, and I'm cursing and I'm swearing, and I really haven't been doing that. And God, Zoom meetings suck so much. I hate Zoom. Fuck Zoom and its ass. I hate Zoom so much. I hate Zoom meetings. They're stupid and useless. Every time I get a stupid and I hate LinkedIn and Glassdoor. And I hate sales jobs that lie to you and tell you it's a marketing job when it's really a sales. I haven't applied for a job in 10 years. I'm not used to this crap. You know what I mean?
So I had this one shit out there, right?
Oh, well, they say, hey, this is a great marketing opportunity for you. Come in. I'm like, okay. And then the first indicator, when I went to go to this interview, they're like, print your resume and bring it. I'm like, man, if I have to print my resume when I emailed it, this is probably it just felt like a red flag. So I intentionally didn't bring the resume, and I just went to the interview without it. And so I was like, where's your resume? I'm like, I didn't bring it. She's like, okay, like that's your first F up. I'm like, okay, let's see what this job entails, you know?
Yeah.
So I go in there and she kept talking, and I was like, in the middle of it, I was like, this is like a really bad entry level job with a lot of turnover, isn't it? And she admitted, and she said, yes. I'm like, I basically crapped on the job, and she still offered me the job. And I'm like, God, this is a really man, my life has gone to a brand new low, dude. Like, I shat on the position.
The position, didn't bring a resume, ignored the fucking rules, and she's still like, but we'll take it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm like, I was the I was basically the example of how to not carry yourself in an interview, and she still offered me the job, which was crazy to me. But marketing jobs and sales jobs are just not my thing.
I got to know what it was now.
It was like a marketing company not too far from Gal Media.
Really?
It was like a block away.
Is it one of those ones like somebody said they had just trying to sell Cutco knives? Was it one of those like, oh, well, you just got to get 7 people in your downline and get them to sell your products, and then you're like, oh, fuck you! You could have said that on LinkedIn, assholes. You over here?
They don't do that.
Fucking.
I know.
Pre-workout or whatever the fuck this bullshit is that you're trying to peddle.
Yeah, it's a sales job in itself to sell the job. Like they have to sell the job because it's not a good job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, it was, they're asking for donations. Your job was to go ask for donations from other companies and other.
That's not marketing.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah. That's begging. They're like, oh, we just need you. That's just legal panhandling. It's just, it's like, look, we need you to go be homeless, but with a home. We just need you to go beg people to give us money. What?
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm not big on LinkedIn. I need to be on LinkedIn though, because like I watch like guys like Gary V, especially trying to figure out this whole path of what we're doing, right? On our own, trying this shit. Yeah. And Gary V's one of those inspirational cats, but he's always preaching LinkedIn. And you mentioned LinkedIn, and every once in a while I'm better. Like before, I always was under the impression no one ever goes to LinkedIn until they lose their job. And as soon as they lose their job, they're all over LinkedIn. Bing, bing. You start getting notices. You're like, oh, this motherfucker just got fired. Because they're like, hey, buddy, long time. Hey, check out the resume. I'm the same way. Guilty as charged. So,
and that's why I don't like asking for help, because people are like, I don't want people to think that now that my gig is gone, that I'm reaching out to you. You know, I'm a very independent, prideful dude. And I got where I was by my damn self. You know what I mean? So I don't need anybody's help or endorsement, and I'll continue to do that. You know what I mean?
Well, listen,
as a matter of fact, I feel like people went against me for most of my career. Not everybody. I think most, like you and Joel, obviously were big supporters, but I think a lot of people worked against you, even when you work under the same umbrella, you know? So,
yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I get the independence, but I've learned something, man, like from these deckheads and the support that they've given me in this show and my new career and all this and that. You know, there's a difference between people supporting you and genuinely wanting to help you, and then people feeling like I'm doing you a favor, right? And the trick is being able to identify what's what. Right. Yeah. Because genuine support from people that love you and want to see you succeed, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's been difficult for me to learn that because, you know, I'm not used to it. I don't. A lot of times for me, you're like a strong, independent, like I think mine's more of a, oh, I don't deserve that. I don't. And you're like, no, fuck you. I don't need your help. Right. It's two different forms of independence that don't feel like they need help. But I'm learning, you know, sometimes it's okay to let people support you if that's what they want to do. Because you support other people, right? Like you're a fan of certain creators or writers, so why can't they do that for you?
Oh, I totally agree, dude. No, I totally agree. That's why I don't know about the radio realm. As fun as it was, I don't know about the radio realm. That's why Twitch and YouTube, like ever since I've been promoted to listener, man, I've been, you know, playing games and watching podcasts that I actually want to watch. I'm not lying to anybody about a show that oh, this is a really good show, you should tune in. When in reality, I think that show blows. You know what I mean? But you know, like I like the Bad Friends podcast. You ever check that out, man?
I have not. I've heard it, but I have not.
I like it, man. I like that. I don't know why, but I like that podcast. I'm on Twitch a lot.
Yeah.
And I play a lot of games, but yeah.
Are you doing the Twitch channel thing? You growing it, or are you just like, fuck it, I know it's too much work, I just want to play video games and not be bothered?
It's not too much work. It's just, you know, obviously after what happened, you know, like the first month was like a blur, so I didn't really do anything. And then I have the site that I'm going to launch should be the MMA site should be it's already up, but it's because it should be completely ready November 1. It has a lot of dated content on it.
Nice. So you're launching your own MMA website?
Yeah.
Is it a blog style or is it a news style?
Kind of both. It's a domain I bought in 2014, and the goal was to start like an MMA radio network, like a podcast network. Now I want to do something similar, but I don't want it to be I just don't think I can get that many MMA shows on one network. So I want to do like a network of different ones. So I'm going to do a MMA show within the producer Nick Twitch, and then I'll isolate it and then put it on all the website stuff. I've owned the domain since 14. I've got the Twitter handle, I've got the Facebook page, the YouTube channel. I just don't want to handle a producer Nick one and the other one because it's just too much work. So I'm trying to consolidate it, and I'm okay financially, but I need to make ends too. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna copy you and make some T-shirts for it, and try to sell some T-shirts and try to finance the website that way. So
absolutely,
it's going to be a good.
Absolutely. Well, let me know. Website. I want to get a shirt. I'll buy a shirt. I'll wear the shirt. I'll wear it here.
I'll send it to you.
I'll wear it on my TV show. We'll get a little. I'll do my part. Do what I can. Happy to do that. So are you gonna have? Are you gonna be? Because the MMA scene here in Houston is pretty crazy. You gonna try to do some local stuff, or is it just gonna be strictly UFC national stuff?
No, I want to do local stuff. I want to work my way up. I want to work with some of the regional MMA promotions. I got to reach out to Mike the Truth, see what he does. He's been in the regional scene forever, I feel like.
He started about the same time I did with the Cage
Door. Oh yeah, I was a big fan of the Cage Door before I even met you. I didn't even know it was yours.
Oh, really? Yeah. Eric Garcia with Fury Promotions is a big one to get in touch with. I've got his number. I'll give you his number. Reach out to him. Richard Burmaster, who is his right-hand man, was my co-owner.
I rolled with Burmaster. He's one of the first guys I trained with.
So if you're trying to get entrenched locally, I got you, buddy. I can certainly help you with that. I can get you. You got Mike the Truth's info, but I can get you to Eric Garcia, who's been on this show before. But I can get you to Richard Burmaster. They'll get you press creds. You can go locally, start covering it. It's a big market, dude. There's a void right now too. And if you're trying to get some traction and just get some eyeballs on sites, dude, you could do a lot worse than to get a lot of these local gyms and a lot of these local fighters to be focused on your website, because they will, just like with the Cage Door, man, if you do it right, they'll be there. So I'm happy to help you get that shit going. If you want it, I know you're independent, but I want to.
But I'll take what I can get there. I just you know me. I just prideful dude, don't like to reach out. Some 100%. People were nice enough to reach out. You were obviously Joel, Jerome Solomon, a bunch of people, a bunch of listeners.
Yeah.
I think that was really nice of them to do that. You know what I mean? So, it's cool, man.
Let's talk about this. Sean said, I'm loving this. It reminds me of when I could just turn the radio on and listen to good content. Haven't listened to that trash since they went full clown show. You listened over there at the former employer at all lately?
I'm not gonna act like I haven't, but rarely, man. Again, I don't want to sound like a bitter employee, but I can't help it. Sports talk radio in Houston blows. It's terrible.
Yeah,
they're really bad about lifting takes and not being original. They're literally it's gotten to the point where they're not just lifting takes from SportsCenter. They think that, okay, if I don't copy this guy's take from CBS Sports or YouTube or ESPN, and I go to some random YouTube or blog and take his content and regurgitate it on a terrestrial radio platform, no one's going to ever know. And it's bad. I mean, there's a dude on the air right now that here's what I'll tell you. I'll say this, and I don't know if I told you this story, but there was like a breaking news story that popped off on a Saturday morning. It was reported. And a YouTuber went live on the stream to give his opinion. That person went live like at 8 or 9 a.m. I just so happened to check it out. So he gave his opinion. I got off, and then I started listening to somebody who's, employed over there right now. And he took that argument word for word. Like, do you remember the speech with Ivanka Trump and Michelle Obama and how they did the side by side and how she basically jacked the entire speech?
Yep.
It was basically like that. But they rather endorse someone like that, you know. They'd rather. I mean, it probably, you know, to their defense, they probably don't know about it, but it's just irresponsible shit. You know what I mean? And I don't like that shit. So.
No, and I think you and I fall firmly on the side of originality when it comes to that, even if it's not the greatest take in the world. And you know, we would talk about that a lot in our show, and being original, being organic, coming up with our own shit. Let's not do what they're doing. Let's not say what they're saying. Everyone's saying this. What's our spin on it? If you believe it, then say it. But we would have those discussions about, no, we want to be original. Originality is so important. A lot of good that did us. But at least at the end of the day, we could hang our hat on, you know what? That was my thought. It may not have been the best take in the world, but it was mine. And I'm not some copycat bullshit artist who eventually will be exposed for what they are.
See, that's the thing. I don't know if they're all going to get exposed, man. Because if you have the right person endorsed, you know, like they're not always, you know, it's hard to keep that up. It's hard to catch that. You know what I mean? And it's just a turnoff for me. So, I mean, look,
now, do you listen to any of the stations? Do you listen to 610? Do you listen to 790? You don't listen to ESPN at all? I haven't listened to sports. Every once in a while, if I'm getting a haircut, I'll throw Joel on. And because Jeremy was a good dude. I love Jeremy. I think you were around when Shock left and moved back to Baltimore. Branham and I did game day for like 6 months or 8 months or whatever. And he's a great dude, you know?
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, Jeremy, I think he told me, because when I started over there back in 2012, he was doing high school updates for 1560, high school football updates. Mm-hmm. And I think he got on the payroll 2 weeks before I did. And then he obviously did his UH thing and Astros thing. And now he's back with, and I told Joel, I think you'll like Jeremy. I think Jeremy's a good dude. So,
great dude. Great dude. I don't really listen to the show that much. Because I'm usually just either doing my own thing or whatever. But when I've listened, you know, I love Joel, I love Jeremy, so that one's easy for me to listen to. I love Cody Stutes, but I can't listen to that show. It's just for me. I don't. Jake Asman, I could give a fuck about. I don't know this dude from Austin. I could give a fuck about him. I like Cody as a guy. I think he's just being wasted on that show. I think that show is the driest piece of steak you've ever had. That show, if ever there was a fucking missionary position of a sports talk show, that would be it. I mean, this is just like, it's like you're in a marriage for 50 years and you just feel obligated to fuck once a year, and the whole time you're just like, oh man, the game's on right now, or I could be drinking a beer on the back porch. It's just, and I feel bad for Cody because of it.
I mean, I almost don't disagree with David Gow with that approach. I mean, to their defense, the ratings were garbage. Our ratings were not good.
They're still garbage, Nick. The station as a whole pulled a 0.3. A fucking 0.3 as a whole. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Did they name a program director?
No.
That's the so
but
Tyler
they
is
did
still
it backwards too, Nick. You don't go and redo your lineup and then hand it to a program director. You find a capable fucking program director to dig you out of the hole that AJ put you in, and then you let them recreate the fucking station in the vision that they want. That's why you pay somebody to be a fucking program director.
Yeah.
What the fuck were they doing? They did it all. You know this.
Oh, I know that. I wasn't surprised with that approach when they told us about it. Good program directors there's nobody over there right now that's qualified to be a program director. They just don't have anybody.
No, it ain't Todd. It ain't Tyler.
No, he's a sales guy. AJ, he was a baby in the program directing game.
AJ knew the business. He didn't know programming. There's a difference.
You are a lot more animated. I mean, I think AJ wouldn't be offended by this, but
he wouldn't. And you know what? And fuck him if he would. As much as honest as AJ was for the fucking 7 years I worked there, fuck him if this hurt his feelings. Here's
what I'll say.
Because he would say the same things.
You hit the nail on the head with there's a misconception. Just because you know a lot about the radio game doesn't necessarily mean you can be a program director. And a part of the job description of being a program director is you have to be able to manage people. I think if I go up to AJ right now and ask him, hey man, do you like managing people? I think he would say a big fat fuck no.
He hated it.
So I think that just automatically kind of eliminated. But he wanted to try being a program director. So I don't think, honestly, I wanted to come and say, I don't think he got a fair shake. I mean, he had a cup of coffee as a program director and a year and a half, and then the pandemic hit. I don't know. Could he have potentially evolved into a program director? Maybe. But, I don't know. But I mean, I'm not trying to defend them. I'm just telling you there's a different, or go against them or criticize them. I'm just saying there's a different dynamic to being a program director. A lot of people want to be it, and not a lot of people are good at it. That's all I'm trying to say.
There are certain mechanics to the job, right? Like Dave Tepper was the last full-time PD that station had before AJ. Jong never got what he deserved. Jong was good at the job, but they were just being cheap. They didn't want to give him the title because then they would have had to pay him. But I'll give you an example of the difference and why AJ, if for AJ, this was about clout, status, pay, and those things, and building a resume. And I get that. I'm not begrudge him of that. I don't begrudge him of that at all. But at the same time, there's the mechanics of the job, right? And again, everybody's like, "Oh, talk your shit." This is stuff that I would tell AJ in a fucking heartbeat. In fact, the last show I ever did on the station there was him trying to get me to excuse him for the bullshit that he did, and I didn't let him off the hook. And I said there's a lot of this shit on air on the Blitz to his face, and I would do it again. I'm not gonna run because what I'm saying, and Nick, you tell if I'm lying, Nick, you say I'm full of shit and lying. Sure. But what I'm saying is the truth. And you'll never go wrong or be accused of being wrong if you just tell the truth. And what this is this was an inexperienced program director, but an experienced radio guy wanting to pad the resume and build himself up. And everybody should strive for that. But when you fail at execution, you just fail at execution. And you can't go in, for example, Dave Tepper. Dave Tepper, when I first started in radio, would call me after a show, after he listened to it, and then be like, what did you think? And I would say, and he goes, well, here's what I heard. Here's what I saw. Maybe next time do this, this, and this. I got better at being an interviewer because of Dave Tepper, because he would walk me through how to do a professional radio interview. That's what a program director does.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because
AJ, well, let me finish. Because AJ, as you know this, we'd be in the middle of a fucking show, and a show is all about vibe. A radio show, a performance show like this is all about vibe and energy and feelings. You know that. If any one of us was thrown off of our fucking chi, our center, and got in a bad mood, show was fucked for the rest of the day. Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you're PD, fucking, hey, you guys are all fucking idiots. Stop talking about this dumb shit. Talk about the shit that I want to hear. Also, your takes fucking suck. Have a good rest of the show, fellas.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not how you be a program director. And that's what he would do. He would stick his head in the fucking room in the middle of a show and shit on me or Joel or you and talk shit and chastise us in the middle. Bro, you can't do that. And Joel would go to him like, bro, stop doing that. You know Barry's emotional. You can't do, like, I don't give a fuck. Well, that's why you fucking are not a good program director. Great radio guy. Not a good PD.
Yeah. Yeah, well. Didn't
it throw you off, Nick, when he would fucking come in and it fuck you up?
It would throw me off for sure. I had fun with AJ, man. He had a similar mentality to us in the fact that we were kind of like outlaw radio. Mm-hmm. 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 And I think that's another problem. Part of the problem, man. The mentality was split in terms of the approach to radio. You know, some people wanted us to take the funny entertainment, like outlaw approach, and then some of the higher ups wanted to stick to like the sportsy approach. And I'm, sitting there in the middle, not knowing what I could, I don't know. I mean, look, I don't want to act like I'm a victim. I don't want to do that. I certainly made some mistakes myself.
Oh, we
own
all
it. I wish they owned some of the stuff that they did, but I don't expect them to. A company is run by humans and nobody's perfect. So I actually don't I mean, I'd argue I don't think they've recruited one good program director in the 10 years that I've been there.
You didn't
Not
like
one.
Tepper? You weren't a big fan?
I don't count Dave. I don't give David
Oh.
Gow credit for recruiting Dave Tepper. You acquired a company
Well,
and
that's
you
true.
brought a guy in because you
That's
acquired a company. So I put him and AJ in that department. When have you had the originality and the wherewithal to go out and recruit a solid
PD.
program director? And I don't think that's the case. And I think a part of it's intentional, and I don't blame him. Because my little theory is the radio platforms that he has, there's a threshold and it can only grow so much. Yeah, you can make some improvements and stuff like that. But if you're going to get a quality program director, you're going to have to pay him what he's want, and he probably won't be able to make a significant impact. So you might just stick to the shitty people that you got. You know what I mean? Don't pay him too much. And you know what I mean? That's the way I would do it. You know, don't blame David Gow because I don't think you can grow,
Well,
that much.
I think you can have a good, solid program director because program directors have value, especially if they're coaching up your talent. And that's the problem with AJ. AJ would because AJ and I were friends, he would talk to me like a friend and not an employee, right? And you can't do that. There was a separation there. You can be honest with me. You don't be an asshole to me, right? Just same thing with Joel or you or any of the other. And that was the other part that really bothered me about the whole dynamic there. AJ was a program director for 3 people, right? 4 people.
I wasn't gonna.
He wasn't a fucking program director over the whole station. You think AJ was going to pop his head into John and Lance's show and be like, hey, the fuck y'all doing? Stop talking about that. They'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Hey, he wasn't going to go tell Charlie what the fuck to say. AJ was a program director. He bossed around you, me, Joel, and Raheel. That was the fact of it. Right? And
He didn't even really boss me around. Like I said, I think program directors are neutered bosses, man. They're not really. I told that to AJ the week he left. I said, no, I don't mean to be rude, but program directors are essentially neutered bosses, and he agreed because you
that's
don't
what
have.
I'm saying. Like, I'm not. This isn't attacking AJ. This is just telling the truth of it all.
Right? Yeah.
And
he knew that.
Huh?
I think he kind of knew. I think he kind of knew that. I think he would agree with that.
I mean, AJ made some good changes. But AJ was neutered, and that was the problem too. Is they gave him the job, but he was still fighting with one hand tied behind his back. He still wasn't able to do what he wanted to do. There were certain contracts and people and situations that it wasn't fair to him, right? It wasn't fair in that regard. But also, AJ doesn't have like Dave. Dave was so good at dealing with the human element of being a program director, and that just is not AJ's strong suit. AJ's not a people person in that regard. Jong is.
I think he's.
You know what I mean? Jong was very good at, okay, guys, you can't talk about eating ass. So I'm going to go and take this bullet for you. Please stop doing this. Yada, yada. Don't worry about Jong. Like, that's the human element. AJ didn't have that. AJ, that's not AJ's strong suit. AJ's a smart dude. He's a funny dude. He's a creative dude. He's not a manage people guy. And you got to be, that's part of the gig.
Yeah, you got to manage people. There's nobody over there that knows how to manage. I mean, in terms of the on-air stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I think Todd could manage his sales team. I think he does good with that. Yeah. I think he's good. I think there's certain people that can manage well, but in terms of the on-air production, I've never seen anybody manage people well, with an exception for Dave Tepper. But they didn't recruit Dave Tepper. They would have been dumb to acquire ESPN 97.5, bring him over, and then fire the guy that runs the station. It makes more sense for them to get their feet wet and understand how to run a business, how to run the affiliate first. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
well, it's sad to see I mean, I feel bad for guys like John and Lance, who I think deserve better. I'm a fan of Charlie, Joel, Jeremy. I wish these guys success. I want the station to succeed. I do. I'm not like, I think a lot of people, if you listen to me talk, you might think that it's this bitterness. It's not. Like, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm thankful for the opportunity. I'm grateful that they gave me 7 years on air. It was an amazing experience. I think it was shitty what they did at the end. I think it was shitty how they let me and Raheel go, the circumstances that surrounded it. I think it was, but I want them to succeed. When I first was gone, I said that was still family, and it was. But also, I bit my tongue on a lot of stuff that I don't have to bite my tongue anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that. I don't owe them an allegiance because they certainly had no allegiance to me. But I want those guys, those individual dudes, to succeed, man. I want them to do well. So whatever. Yeah. Do you listen to the other stations at all in town? You
No, I said a lot of bad shit about 790 and 610 on the air. You know what I mean? So
Well, I did.
I wasn't gonna apply. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not to mention, Houston's, like I said, Houston sport. You've got the Rockets are a terrible team. The Texans are a disaster. What's up with Deshaun Watson? I think is it true he's going to Miami, or is that just a report? Or
So I reached out to my source.
okay,
Do you know who that is? And he said, yeah. I asked him point blank. Let me pull it up. Watson going to Miami this week. Quote, that's what I'm hearing.
yeah. So so now you have two bad teams, and you have the Astros, and you better hope they can last as long as they can with a good team. And then what's going to happen to Houston Sports Talk Radio?
Yeah. Are you excited
I don't
about this
know.
Rocket team at all? Are you excited? No.
I'm not, man. But it's not to be fair. Like I said, when that happened, I was sleeping at all weird kinds of nights. I disconnected myself from sports. I really, for like a month, maybe even 6 weeks, I just did not pay attention to sports. Like I found out about, apparently there was like a Bill O'Brien story where he was like trying to get fired because he was going to take over Bill Belichick's gig or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, was that true? You know, like
Came out in a book.
so I was so disconnected, man, that I didn't know, man. I just started picking up back and watching sports like 3 weeks ago, you know?
Yeah.
Plus I have this gambling website paying me to tweet. So I have to act, you know what I mean? Like I gotta pretend that I know what I'm doing and shit. So, but you know, it is what it is, man. I feel I'm obviously 2.5 months removed. I'm a lot less salty about it. So I'm glad I'm looking forward to the opportunity. At first I was a little scared, you know,
Yeah.
but now I feel like it's
I know. Oh, I know.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It'll be all right, man.
It's that fear, that bit of unknown can really drive you, can really push you to go out and achieve some things. If you were you have the choice to do anything basically,
Yeah.
right? What do you what's the ultimate dream, the ultimate goal? What's the
You know, honestly, man, there was 3 particular jobs that I really, really wanted, and it didn't work out, and I was pretty heartbroken of it. So I got so fed up with LinkedIn and everything, so I'm just gonna go independent. So that's why the website will go November. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go the route of, you know, getting a job, getting insurance, you know, health insurance, because this is the first time in my life I have not had health insurance. I've never been in a situation like this before. You know what I mean? So this is all new to me, you know. So now I'm just so mad at, you know, you go to a process, you really want the job, you look at the job description, you feel like you're qualified for every little thing. It was a really good job in Virginia, actually. And you go, there's a 4-interview process. Motley Fool. Like it's called the place was called the Motley Fool. It's like a financial advising company and a stock advising company. And it's 4 interviews, and I get to the second and the third, and then there's no. It's like, it was so deflating. You know what I mean? Like you really start questioning yourself. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what? I'm just going to be independent Nick, because now I have to. You know what I mean?
And you control it. But I tell you what, man, if anything, you know, being in where you were for a decade, there's a certain level of comfort, but being in comedy and doing some of the other things that I've done, you're always auditioning. You're always trying to get a gig, right? Whether it's a new club or this or that and the other. That did help me and prepare me a little bit for no's. And that's something that can be difficult, especially if you've been a decade somewhere and not had to go out into the market. It's a tough thing to deal with, man. It's a tough adjustment for anybody to make. So don't feel like that's something that, you know, is just a thing you're going through. It is something that I went through. I mean, I reached out to people after I got let go, and, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm an on-air guy. You know, you've heard me. You know what I'm capable of. Yeah, we're good. Damn.
Yeah.
You know, you think you're good at something, and you're like, well, fuck, am I not good at this or what?
Oh,
that's just not it. There's so many other circumstances that go into it.
Yeah. It does make you question yourself. I definitely question myself, but, you know, I look at you and other guys that have lost their gigs, and hopefully that inspires me to be better. I just want to be a better person. I'm still going to be riled ass Nick too. Don't get it twisted. I just have to get through some hurdles. You know what I mean? And once I get through some fucking hurdles, I'll be, I'm a transparent and I'm a very honest dude. I feel like I'm more honest than a lot of the people over there, lying thieves ass sons of bitches, but whatever, but I'm not mad about it or anything. Fucking cunts. But anyway, but it's, look, I want the best. I want the best for myself, And look, I will say this: not everybody over there is bad. There's like one or two weasels over there that I don't appreciate.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Yeah.
And
that's going to be anywhere you work. Any job has shitty people. No matter. I was in corporate IT for 20 years. There were awful people in that biz. Awful people.
Oh yeah.
And just like in radio, it's no different. Look, Justin said, look, tell me about it. I got fired in April and started a new job in August. 300 plus applications, 40 plus interviews. It's a grind. That's the thing. It is a grind. You know what I mean? Like, and it just because you did something for a while, you feel like, okay, I got this. And I was like, oh, it was a rude awakening for me. Oh, nobody wanted me. Because Nick, I was even like, you know what? I would even like to be the sports guy on a morning show, like Rula and Ryan or Rod Ryan or the Q Morning Zoo, or I don't give a fuck. They'd be like, it's Jimbo on the Mad Hatter. I could be Jimbo. Jimbo was a fat white guy. I could be a fat white guy. Are you fucking kidding me? That's easy. I could be the fat white guy on a black hip hop station. That's right up my alley. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think you could. I was shocked you didn't get that.
I'm so good at being a fat white guy that knows hip hop and can hang out with black people. That is literally my wheelhouse.
I know. I remember you talking about that. I was like, you should have got that freaking gig.
Let me tell you,
any gig in that regard.
This was so embarrassing. So I go to my barber is Jason Rolla, J Rolla, current cuts, who also cuts the hair for Kiati. Who was at 97.9 The Box forever, and then just moved to 93.7 The Beat. But so Kiati was doing an evening show, got promoted to the morning show. Him and his chick were doing the morning show. Well, I didn't know Kiati was let go, and I see this thing. My buddy's son Tran sends me a link. He's like, "Bro, they're looking for a comedian." For the morning show. I was like, oh, that's me. I'm a comedian and a radio guy, and I like hip hop, and I'm a fat white guy. This is perfect. So I text Kiati. I was like, say, bro, heard y'all are looking for a comic, fam. Hook me up.
Yeah.
Nothing. Negative. And then I was talking to Jero. I was like, Jero, what's up with your boy Kiati? We was, I'm getting texts from him while we were both in the biz. Like, we got to stick together, fam. This radio biz ain't no joke. I'm like, I feel you. And then nothing. Jero's like, bro, he got to let go from that. I was like, oh, no.
Damn.
That's my bad. I was literally texting him, hey, let me be your replacement.
Damn. I know G-Man.
That was so embarrassing. Oh, you do?
Yeah. Because he would go to the boxing fights and I would run into him. And him and his wife are two really nice people. I should reach out to them. But like he told me the same thing. They consolidate. Well, he said they're cutting like crap. Like if you're not getting it, there's no way I'm getting it. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's hard. It's a hard business. I'm shocked that I was in radio for 10 years. I'm thankful I was in radio for 10 years. It's a very cool and unique gig to have.
Yeah.
But it doesn't define me. It doesn't define you. It doesn't define any of these people.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Well, Kiati, talk about a resurrection. It gave me hope because Kiati you didn't hear from him for a while. He was doing his own independent show thing. Does that sound familiar? And then he gets picked up. Now he's working at 93.7. They syndicated him. Kind of like Teresa Rockface. Now he's syndicated with 93.7.
Nice,
blew
dude.
up. Yeah. I mean, he went from, I got 20K on IG. Now he's in the hundreds of Ks because he's syndicated and blowing up, man. And I was like, good for him. That's how you fucking bounce back. That's how you keep going, right? So all's well that ends well for Kiati. But boy, I felt like a fucking asshole. Hey,
sure you did,
was curious in this job that you guys have that I don't realize is your job. My bad. He ain't never gonna text me again. Jesus.
Oh
Dude, that was
fuck!
so
Hey man, so
embarrassing.
what did you think of that? I don't know if you did. You see the whole Brendan Schaub and Ariel Hawani thing? Only because you worked with Brendan Schaub,
I
so I kind of
did.
wanted to get your thoughts. Oh, you didn't
Spill the
know?
tea. Tell me what happened, and I'll give you my
They were
thoughts.
beefing. They were beefing because Brendan Schaub was spreading that narrative, I guess, about how Ariel Hawani leaked the Brock Lesnar fight at UFC 200.
Mhm.
It was said on the Joe Rogan podcast, and then Brendan Schaub kind of regurgitated it. And there's like this big beef that's been going back and forth between Brendan Schaub and Ariel Hawani for like the past 4 to 6 weeks. And I immediately thought of you because I was like, you worked with them, and Ariel Hawani is actually the reason why I got in the business. But lately, I feel like he's been a little negative. You know what I mean? And this time, I was Team Ariel Hawani. Like, I felt like he was right in everything. Like, you spread a lie that wasn't true. He didn't just report that. He had sources. He did it right. Like, he did it like a journalist. You know what I mean? And it was a good beef. If you didn't see the beef, but yeah, like you should look at it.
I will. I'll tell you this. I don't know Ariel Hawani. I mean, I knew his career because he was doing his thing. He was in bed with the UFC back during the Cage Door days. So he was the guy that we all looked at in any form. If you covered the sport, Ariel Hawani was the gold standard of MMA coverage in the U.S. That was just, and maybe worldwide.
Yeah.
He was Dana White. Everything that Dana White took him under his wing basically, and he ingratiated himself with the organization, and like, dude, he was untouchable. And then he got, I don't want to say he got too big for his britches,
Okay.
but you feel like he drank his own Kool-Aid too much, maybe sniffed a little too much of his own farts, and was like, I'm the shit, man.
Yeah.
And that can be a detriment, and it's very difficult to achieve the level of success that Ariel Hawani did and not get that way. You need people around you that keep you grounded. You need people around you to go, you're just regular ass Ariel to us. You're just plain old Nick. You're just old dumbass Barry, bro. Calm down, right? You need that around you. And sometimes you just get too big for that. As far as specifically like what he broke, I don't know the details behind it, but I'll tell you what, if you're making me pick, if you're telling me that Brendan Schaub, knowing what I know, and Ariel Hawani, knowing what I know, even based off of the issues that Hawani has had with his characters, I feel like there's a certain level of integrity in journalism that Ariel Hawani brought to the table no matter what. Now, was there some underhanded shit he was getting from the UFC that other people weren't getting at the time? Yeah, but that's just being a good journalist too. If you have the opportunity to embed yourself with the organization that you cover to get to curry favor, you're going to do that. So I don't know what the news, like what Brendan Schaub was so upset about, but his job is to break the news, right? Like it's his
Well, it was
job.
more Ariel was more upset with him. So the narrative was Ariel Hawani released the Brock Lesnar UFC 200 story, and Dana, the lie was Dana and company was telling them, don't release the story because if you do, that means we have a mole within our PR team and someone's going to lose their job. And and they told him not to publish it, and he published it anyway. And Ariel said, man, I swear on my kids, that's not how it went down. He said Joe Rogan's source was Dana White. Brendan Schaub's source was Joe Rogan. And Brendan Schaub kind of apologized. Ariel Hawani didn't feel like he apologized, but it was kind of an apology, And Brendan Schaub also said the reason why he got the Showtime gig is because Brendan passed on it, and Ariel Hawani wasn't happy about that. So he called him out on that.
Here's the thing, though, in regards to that. If your job is to break news, and I understand, what doesn't make sense in everything you just said is if Dana White is like, hey, don't break the news because that means we have a mole. No, you have a mole within your PR firm if he already knows about it. So if that's the concern, whether he breaks the news or not, or does you a solid and sits on it until you're ready, which most journalists, that's a journalist integrity thing that you have to weigh. I have the responsibility and the right to break this news when I hear about it, unless I'm asked or told at the time, hey, this is off the record, don't report this, which if you're finding out info, that's not the case. So it's a 50-50 thing, but that doesn't change the fact that, Dana, you got somebody in your midst that's spilling tea. That's not going to change whether Hawani says that or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I just wanted to, because I didn't know if you saw it only because you worked with him. I actually love Brendan Schaub. I love his podcast and
I
everything.
gotta tell you, I was all right with Brendan. I mean, he seems superficially nice.
Oh, okay.
He's never been a dick, right? Like, he's not one of those guys who's like, I'll say this, like, when I worked with him, when I opened for him and his brother were the nicest guys in the green room. Oh yeah, listen. And then when I reached out to them about something, it was something stupid too, like shoes. Nothing.
Crickets
Didn't exist. Who? Fuck you. Who? It was like, and that wasn't even reaching out to Brendan. It was his brother. Well, I was like, hey, what was the name of that website for the shoe thing or whatever? Sorry, dude, you're persona non grata. Okay, I get that, right? No problem. But I worked with him, I opened for him, and did really good the time he was here in Houston when I hosted for him. So fast forward 2 years, ESPN studio. I've told this story before in the show. Christopher Hart, who does the Whiskey Neat show on ESPN, has Brendan Schaub in. And remember, Christopher comes over to us and goes, hey, you want Brendan Schaub for the Suspects? And I was like, yeah, that'd be dope. Let's get him on. So Brendan walks in the studio, and I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? He was like, hey, man, good to meet you.
You forgot? Or is he big timing?
Exactly.
Big time.
Which one was it? And I was like, good to meet me, bro. I hosted for you the last time you were in Houston at the Improv. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're hilarious. Nope. I'm done. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. That's some fake ass shit for me. That's just fake. That's just fucking fake. And I get it. You're a celebrity. You meet a lot of people. At that point, you go, man, I'm so sorry. I meet, because that happens to me. I'll meet somebody. I'll meet a decade, and they'll be like, bro, we met this. And I'll be like, dude, I'm so sorry. I am just so bad with names and faces and memory, and I meet a lot of people. I'm sorry. If you do that, I'm like, dude, it's cool. I get it. I understand. But you're just, no, fam.
Yeah, outright. Yeah, he was probably big timing.
Yeah, and then the text message ignoring that. No, fam. I'm not fucking with you. I mean, good for you. Go do your thing. I'm not gonna judge his comedy or anything like that, but I could. But I'm just saying that was pretty shitty. Like that, how you treat people like that, me or not me, but how you do people like that, to me that matters, and that's why I'm like, whatever. I don't give a shit about that dude. But
that's the heartbreaking thing about this business, man. You enjoy this game as a fan. Like, I would have hated, like, Hakeem Olajuwon was a god to me growing up, man. I would have hated to like cover Hakeem, and got a different side. It would have like messed with me, you know what I mean?
Heartbreaking.
And then I started covering the Rockets, and I see the way James Harden was with the media and how players are with the media sometimes. I feel like the MMA realm is getting that way, but it's not nearly as bad, And I think there's still room to grow, and I really want to go down that road.
MMA is like NASCAR. People always said NASCAR was great, that they were so fan friendly because they knew they were the fifth most popular sport in the U.S., so they would try to be very fan friendly. That's how MMA is. I think they're still trying. There's some ego and stuff, but I think they really try to cater to the fans because they're trying to continue to grow the sport. So yeah, it's not the same, I guess, as the big three. Dude, this flew by. It is 1:00. That is amazing.
Wow. I feel like I just jumped on, man.
I know. Holy shit, that flew by. By the way, real quick, I just got to say thank you to Sylvia. She sent over a $5 Friday. Said, happy Fancy Friday. I'll catch you on the replay. Sylvia, thank you, sweetie. I love you so much. Homie, we got to do this more often, man. Especially UFC cards. You got to come on and talk. Let's just shoot the shit for UFC sometime.
Yeah, man, we should. Yeah, I'll be a lot more busy now. I'm in a much better place now, so you'll hear more from me. I ain't going nowhere.
Good. And we'll do some cards, and we can promote the website, and you can give us some picks, and then we'll send them to the website to get the rest and all that. We'll figure that out. You guys,
for sure, man.
Y'all know who that is. That is Nick Sharara, homie. I appreciate this, man. Way more than you know. This was very necessary.
Much love, people. Thank you.
I'm glad we did this, homie. Love you to death. You guys, that is Nick Sharara. We are going to bounce. It is time. Wrap this up. I got to go shoot this TV show. Make sure you watch Saturday, 10 p.m., CW39, Houston Sports Show, myself, Rachel Valeranier, Devin, the whole crew. Hey, thanks for tuning in this week. Thanks for being here. If you sent a super chat or a Venmo or just on the Patreon, I appreciate the support. To my angel investor who helped out with the software as well, you know I love you. Thank you so much. I will see you guys on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Go Astros. And until I see you, do me 3 favors. Be safe. Be kind.
most important. Love it, y'all. See y'all Monday. Have a great week. And he's making a YouTube video.